It's good. All right, people. You know what it is. It is time for the yearly in hangout. Let's see. I'm gonna give the Zoom room. Um, being that it's fun times. Today is open house, so you can come and kick it in the Zoom room, member or not. Because I have to make whole new. Oh, is that the right one? Yes. I have to make whole new. I can't even think of the word. The schedule, because I only set it to the 31st, right? The auto recurring, so I have to make a whole new one, and I'm gonna probably cheat this time and set it up on my work account because I have a better Zoom account there. Thanks to Andy. Andy's my homie. So yes, yeah, there you go. You know the answer. So I'm gonna pop this into the chatty chat. If you guys want to come and kick it in the back, you can come kick it with us. Uh, I just request that you don't have it too noisy. If you're noisy, mute when you come in, or Paul will mute you or kick you out. One of the two. Man, I've been over just the last couple of days, just rearranging stuff and clearing out files. Oh my god, bro! Do you know how much crap you can generate in your download folder if you don't look at it every often? And I used to make it a point to clean it out like once a month. But with this nice to know, nice to have November turned into December, turned into almost January. Yeah, bro, there was no cleaning out. It got, I just going. I looked in there the other day and I was like, bruh, just the 60 thumbnails was probably problematic enough, but I had a whole bunch of like the sound files that I downloaded, video clips that I downloaded, images that I use. Uh, Bro, I hate it when the mustache tickles the bottom of your nose and I'm already having sinuses, so it makes it worse. Anyway, yeah, I was just in there cleaning stuff out. I was like, my God, there's so much crap in this downloads folder. It can get out of control real quick. Like, wait, oh, it's Paul spotlighted it. Okay, perfect. Does it auto spotlight now with the new update, Paul? Okay, so I was like, I gotta remember the spotlight, but then you had already done it. All right, never mind then. Then Ken and Glenn spotlighted it. What's happening, Rich? What's happening, Yolanda? What's happening, Flo? Yeah, so yeah, just doing the file management, sort of cleaning out thing, and then next I have the hard task of pruning the email list, which I am sort of terrified of. I don't know why. I haven't done this for a while. When I last did it, it was on MailChimp, which was eons ago. I haven't messed with it when I was trying out MailerLite. I didn't like MailerLite, so I quickly moved over to ConvertKit. Is when I accidentally erased my whole list and had to start from scratch. But I started last January, and as of now, I'm at 1,000. So I did 1,000 in a year, but the key element is Liz said to go in and start to remove, I'm going to use the right word, cold subscribers. And I started pressing buttons and I removed like the first 16 people. And then I was like, look, if I press this button, it's going to go and remove a lot of people. So I don't want to accidentally jack this up. So I have to go into ConvertKits back in and like go bless myself with a quick tutorial on how to purge list. I also realized that my segmenting is really horrible because I was just on collection mode and I have to do a couple things. I have to create sequence, which still terrifies me to this day. Don't know why, just haven't done it. You know, it's just like not knowing something. I don't think it's going to be difficult per se because I know a whole bunch of people that have them that I would consider um, not brilliant to be nice. So I have to go. Stop laughing at me, Paul. I have to go create some segments and then, I mean, sorry, create some sequences, welcome sequence. So, oh, you know what? Here's what I should do. Oh, wait, Rich, really? How come you could just turn your mic on, dude? You're good. Unless you don't want people in the stream to hear your sexy voice. Nah, bro, you're family. You can yell. What are you making sequences about? Yep. Okay. Yeah, the double opt-in thing is a little crazy. Yeah. I heard that from Alec last year, right? Alec was like, "Yeah, turn off double opt-in." But I think we got to that because of GPDR, GRPD, GPDR, something like that. Yeah. Yeah. Dude, that's crazy. Yeah, the whole idea of, first of all, anybody, listen, family, if you haven't done so already, absolutely, absolutely go and build your mail list. It's going to become even more so important if, how do I say this? If um what's supposed to happen to TikTok actually happens to TikTok, which I seriously doubt, but just in case, you might need to, email your people and let them know that you moved, so to speak. It's kind of like, the old joint from the post office. You used to get the relocation kit and then you got to send it in. So you would want to be able to have a way to talk to people, but it's the one piece of land that you kind of sort of will always own. um, Yo, I got a convert kit set up. I'm gonna put the link in here, but I realized I when I went to go to Rebrandly, I couldn't do it because if I change, Kit, they changed their name from Convert Kit to just Kit, but my docrock.live/kit goes to my Kit page, which actually still kind of converts. It only converts a little bit, so I don't know if I should change that one because it only converts a little bit, and because I like to keep my affiliate links kind of simple so you just know what it is. So even if you don't have it or you can't find it, you can guess and you'll probably be right. So I swore I made one for ConvertKit, but I guess I lied. I thought I made it email or something like that. Anyway, let me check. Did I give you the new link, Paul? Because I just got it. Let's see. Okay. Hold on. Yeah, it's crazy. People, you can drop questions if you have questions. You can throw them in there. And if you want to come and hang out in the Zoom room, the link is to your liking. There's Tommy. What is up, Tommy? How are you? There you go. Let me get in there. What's up, Wixie? Good to see you, bruh. Yeah. See, that's the one, right? It goes to the kit page, which I don't know. Like, I gotta double check how that's working. Because I think for Rebrandly, I was thinking about changing it, but then I didn't change it yet because I was like, I don't know. That one has been doing the same thing for so long, and I think there's tons of content out there where I reference it as that way. So it might be stupid to sort of muck that up. Let me grab this link. Okay, okay. Oh, you can make custom links. Shut up. Oh, that's cool. I'm staring. Sorry, no, start singing. It was about to come. It's about to come out. Link title, link destination. I'm not gonna mess with that. I'm just gonna use the standard issue one. This is cool. So, Paul, I'm gonna paste this, and then we'll go make a rebranding one right now. But that way, you have the OG link. So here, let me show you people so you guys can see what I'm doing, just in case you start to do this. I will say that I got on Rebrandly initially um, from a contest thing that I won from Diana Gladney back when she was just Diana Gladney before she came like my dear friend. And I used it for about 3 years, but then I kind of passed by the amount of links that you can get for the free program, and I had to go to the paid program, and it was a wee bit of a shock because the paid program is $40 a month, but there's no way I'm turning it off because I still get a lot of clicks on various things, so I just sort of leave that. Should I do mail? This is dumb. I don't want to do ConvertKit. It's not really that. Uh, mm, CKit. Yeah, I just use CKit for now. I'll change it later or add another one later. So I'll just do CKit because that's what most people still know it as. And then I could take this one and copy it, and then I can give Paul the shortcut. Bing, bing, bing. Eileen, are you still on Rebrandly or what are you using now? I know Eileen, I think she used to use this as well. But yeah, Rebrandly is cool. Like it's kind of crazy once you blow past the once you blow past the initial amount, like which would take you a while. Trust me, it took me 3.5, 4 years before I hit it. So I'm okay with it that it happened. How you doing, Mr. Tommy? Let's go make some new let's go make some new pages to put us all in here. Let's go here. Then make one. Hey, why are you not switching to blank? Okay. Go here. Go here. Go blank. Oh, there we go. Okay, I'm going to delete that. And then I'm going to put this here. Yay. And then put this here. And then the rest is still unwritten. Okay. Then I want to. How you doing, brother? Copy that. And then paste. Paste. I love this. This is one of the best things that they added in a long time was the ability to just copy and paste styles so you don't have to fight. It makes life so much easier. Boom. There's my friends. All right, cool. Now we're not talking to myself. And then let's see. What is Will? What's cracking? I'm in New Hampshire. Came today. Remember? Oh, you at Credit Cat driving through. Oh yeah, man. Right now, it must be like snow everywhere right now. I know that when we're there in October, just that leaf change action is so dope. Like I just wanted to find reasons to have to drive around. It's kind of funny, but there is where we went to the dinner. Will that one place Al Nova Aldora whatever the heck it's called? That place was so cool. Like a couple days after the dinner, when we were driving around in there, like Katie and I went back because we went to go talk to them about blessing up for this year, and oh my God, it is so good. Yeah, it's really fun. It's really fun, Rich. It's super cool. So here I'll do a demo. It's coming, gang. Sorry, you guys got to hold your horses, but it's coming. For us moderators are goofing with it. It ain't ready for y'all yet. We've been on broke everything, so we are purposely breaking every stuff so that we can make it better for you once we finally get it working. Um, so this is cool. So I'm gonna make a copy of the one that we're currently on, and then I'm going to take, say, I use Paul, and then move Tommy to over here, and then move Paul to over here, and then take this Paul and make it big, right? And then we'll take this one and we'll temporarily move it into, oh, Kathy's ready. Kathy, I'm going to put you on so that way we can make this even. Okay, don't run away. Hey, what's up, Kenny? Yay, what's happening? All right, so this is cool. This is really cool. I can take this and I can make this scene called Paul. And then I can duplicate this scene.
Working on this.
Oh, now we cooking with Pam. Oh, what they say? What they say? Tommy. Now we cooking with grease. Then we call this one Kathy.
I think it's lard.
You say lard?
It's lard.
I heard it as cooking with grease. Alabama,
Crisco.
y'all use lard more than grease?
Crisco, man. That's how you fry that chicken up.
Dude, it was always Crisco for us. It was always Crisco for us. Yo, I remember when you would mess around in the kitchen and get burnt, and then grandma would be like, oh, just put some Crisco on it. I'd be like, what? Why the heck are we putting grease on a burn? Okay, so watch. Let me show you how cool this is. On this particular one, I would switch Kathy and Paul. Don't worry, don't worry. And then I go on this one, and then I would, I messed this up. Let's delete Paul right here. And then go back to this one for a second and copy this, and then go back to the Paul one for a second and paste it. In this case, we would put Paul. And then, so we would duplicate this again, and then we would switch it, and we would call this one like Rich. This is the craziest thing, fam. Okay, so now that's there, and then we would, wait, I think I have to do it like that. If I switch, let me see, if I put Rich over there, and then Kathy over here, let's see, does it switch? Foomph. Foomph. That smell, dude. Yo, isn't that sick? Isn't that sick? So this part works fine. Some of the other stuff don't work right, which is why we haven't like fully stuck it out in the thinking of a master plan yet. And then we put Rich down here, and then Kathy over here, and then now you can just be like, whew, and then Kathy be talking, then Rich be talking, and then Paul be talking. Look, you know what I'm saying? It's a minor thing, but if you are doing, some type of showgram where you're just going to have a bunch of people round robin talking, like a panel talking, it's similar to that thing that, what's his face, Felipe does, but we just wanted to make it simpler. And so all you got to do is just, once you have everything in position, you just sort of go. So it's kind of cool. It's kind of cool.
It does.
All right, Kathy
it doesn't
and
work
Kenny.
with shapes.
What do you say, Paul?
I said it doesn't work with shapes.
Only squares.
Right.
All right. See, I didn't try shapes yet because why? Like I only use squares and squircles. What about circles? Does it work with circles?
It'll work with any camera overlay, but it won't work like with the text block or shape any other thing that you put in.
Got it. That makes sense. Yeah, that's cool. Kathy and Kenny. So, what's your big go-to for next year? What y'all into?
That's exactly what we're working on right now. We had our big old Ecamm content strategy book, and we wanted to kind of work out some of the things that topics we're gonna cover in 2025.
Yeah, I'm just planning on acting stupid and letting her do all the work. Is what I plan on doing.
You mean same as last year?
Exactly. There you go. Hashtag baby brother vibes.
Hey, listen, when you guys were on Katie's show, that was really, really good. Like that
Thank
was
you.
legit good. So
we had fun.
I
Yeah, we had fun
definitely
doing that.
do more of that.
Yeah. So we probably need more places where we can collab. So that's probably one of the things we're going to work on for our 2025 strategy. And we tend to do live, so we don't do like pre-recorded videos. So that might be something we need to look at and talk about.
Well, do the two birds with one stone method. So think about how LP does her joint, right? And actually, technically, so does Alec. That's Alec's whole process, right? Is you basically go live, you record there, and then you just put it back up as a finished video. So you're just gonna sort of like we do for the flow, just cut off the beginning and end, but make sure that there is a solid video in the middle somewhere. So whenever you come to, and it doesn't have to be a whole show. I think this is the one thing that I've come to grips with real quick, right? So say you guys are doing a talk about, let's go pop culture. Let's say we're going to talk about native tongues and like how that came about, right? And then say we get to a section where there's an argument about, say, maybe Premiere versus Tip. Stupid argument. It's, as much as I love Tip, it's still Premiere. But no, that's a tough one though. I mean, Tip is right there. Like, anyway, they're close enough. So that in that argument, that could be like a whole video in of itself. And if that conversation were to take 15 minutes, instead of looking for a short, you literally pull that segment out and you title the video, who was the dopest producer of the native tongue era or more influential. You could change the title according to how the topic went, right? And then you'll be like, is it Premiere or is it Tip? Tribe Called Quest for the uninitiated. And then you would take that section, and knowing you too, especially being blood, that argument's 10, 15 minutes. That's a whole video.
No,
You know, I got all,
for 10 minutes and me trying to get a word in edgewise.
well, same thing. I got all sisters. I know how this works. Okay.
And you know what? And this weekend we're debating whether Die Hard is a Christmas movie.
Which is not.
It is a Christmas
Well,
movie.
you see, Paul. Okay, look, Paul went there. Okay, Tommy, Die Hard Christmas movie, yes or no? Okay.
Thank you.
Kathy and Tommy is together. Rich, Die Hard Christmas movie, yes or no?
Absolutely. Yeah, of course.
Yes,
Oh,
thank you.
wait, we got a divided panel. Rich and
Next thing y'all
Paul
will be
say
saying,
yes. Tommy and Kathy say no. Kenny is on the yes. I'm the tiebreaker.
Come on, let's go. Let's go.
What makes Die Hard a Christmas movie? Just because it's set
and that
during the
means Lethal
Christmas
Weapon's
season?
a Christmas movie.
Nope, totally different.
It's set at Christmas time.
No, they don't do it. Only thing they do on Christmas is they mess up the tree.
So Gremlins is a Christmas movie? No, just because it's set at Christmas doesn't make it a Christmas movie.
Gremlins is absolutely a Christmas movie.
I think Gremlins is a Christmas movie.
I would say Gremlins is a Christmas movie because the Gremlin is a Christmas present.
Yes,
Right.
there you go. There you go. Kenny is right. I hate to say this,
Gremlin
Kathy.
is
You know I
the
love you
present.
more.
Gremlins is a Christmas movie.
Yes.
Is right.
Okay, but
Okay,
here's
so
what makes
Gremlins
Die Hard a
is-
Christmas. Okay, here's what makes Die Hard a Christmas movie. As much as I hate to say this, because I've had this argument before, and I kind of got swayed by a friend of mine. But here's what makes it a Christmas movie, and I'm gonna say the same thing as Wixie. We used to always watch Trading Places at Christmas, and we would always watch Die Hard at Christmas, just because I guess the initial time we saw it was during Christmas, and so that became a thing. That was two VHSs that always went down at Christmas, along with Jimmy Stewart, right, when he's a little boy.
Okay, that's
And
a
then-
wonderful. It's a wonderful life. That's a
It's a-
Christmas movie.
But then the
No
other one
doubt.
but strangely enough, the other one that we would always watch during Christmas because of my grandpa was Harvey.
Ah,
I've
Which-
never seen
because-
one.
Yeah,
more
dude,
Easter
you should
eggs,
watch it.
right?
It's OG, but that's what I knew Jimmy Stewart from. I didn't know about the Wonderful Life part until after, because I had seen Harvey so many times with my grandpa. Like whenever grandpa would babysit, like in DC, they would always show those old black and white movies on Sunday morning. So when I used to play hooky from church, grandpa was more than happy to have to stay home with me. Grandma would bitch the whole time, but we would see Harvey over and over again. And then, oh my God, the curly haired girl with the tapping shoes,
Shirley Temple.
Shirley
Temple.
Temple. Yeah.
Yeah.
So we would see that like religiously, like
You know, the
'cause that's
Curly
what
girl
came
with
on.
the tapestries.
That's how my brain works, Kenny. Sorry. That's how. That's my
Well, no, the rapping
mem-
shit, yeah.
memory recall. Is to just throw some words out there, and then Paul will remember, which is funny because he's older than me, but his memory's better.
So,
which is scary.
so is Home Alone a Christmas movie or is it a crime
Absolutely.
drama?
Home Alone is a
Christmas.
Christmas movie.
I do not like Home Alone.
Me neither.
I
don't
can't stand
either.
Home Alone.
I mean, it's a good movie.
I got-
Like, if you got to rate it for what it is,
I don't
it's a
think
good
I don't
movie.
think it's a good movie.
Dang.
I
I
have
got
several
some good
people,
ways to.
Barack Obama, Bruce Willis himself, they all say that
I'm gonna
it's
say
not a
this. I'm
Christmas
gonna say this about the Bruce Willis thing. He's got dementia.
movie. That's not right.
That's it.
That's not
So he don't know what he's talking about. Who knows how long he's had this dementia? As far as Barack Obama saying it's not a Christmas movie, you know, he was a good president, but apparently he knows nothing about movies.
I think the thing is, and this is trippy.
That's because Michelle had the remote control.
Yeah,
There you go.
There you go. She was in charge. The thing that's trippy is, I think when it's the subject matter is Christmas and Santa or whatever, that's what holds it into place for some people.
exactly.
I think for some people, it's a tradition, like what your family watches around that time. Like, and the subject matter, okay, let me ask you a different question. All right, here we go. Paul, Star Wars, Romeo and Juliet in space, yes or no?
Yes.
Tommy?
Hmm.
I thought you was going to ask if it was a Christmas movie or not.
No.
Star Wars is Romeo and Juliet in space.
Space.
No, no.
Okay.
What's that story in
Rich?
space?
You can't connect that either. I don't see it.
What about you guys?
I'm a
What about-
nerd.
tell you-
I don't see
What about
Romeo and
Pirates
Juliet.
of the Caribbean? Romeo
Can I
and
tell you
Juliet
why,
at sea?
though? Can I tell you why Romeo and Juliet in space, Star Wars?
Why?
Because they don't die in the end.
There you go.
I guess so.
And it's not. They're not Romeo and Juliet in space because there's no reason for them not to be together, except for the fact you find out later that they're brother and sister. So,
Yeah, that's
And
the tragic, right? But
Yeah, but
I mean,
you don't have
okay.
Capulets and Montagues fighting. You don't have all the stuff that's in Romeo and Juliet that makes it like that is the suicides and everything else.
Okay,
You
so
don't
let's
have all
flip
that.
it then. Let's flip it then. Titanic, Romeo and Juliet on the fucking boat.
no, that's a dumb man in love with a selfish woman who wouldn't share a door.
It's still rich, poor, families wouldn't like each other. Like basically what I'm saying is that movie is the same movie over and over again in so many movies.
Just repeat.
You know what I'm saying?
Like Paco Bells.
Yeah, it's like The Great Gatsby even is Romeo and Juliet in a way.
You know what would be a great sequel though, Doc,
What?
to Romeo and Juliet would be to find out if they're brothers and sisters.
Dark. That's dark. That's dark.
Very dark.
Oh, very dark, very dark.
Dude, oh brother, where art thou? Is Odyssey.
Is the
Yes.
Odyssey.
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
I
Yes,
love
it
oh
is.
my
It
God.
is.
Listen,
Oh,
Kevin.
Homer's the
Listen,
Odyssey.
Kevin.
That's
I love that
Kevin's
movie
gonna
so
sing.
much only for one thing. That's when I discovered that Rosemary's Baby could sing. I was blown away by
Okay,
that.
yeah,
I
you
listened to that thing. I listened to that song over and over and over again, cause that was such the Foggy Bottom Boys and
Yeah.
Rosemary Baby, George.
That was Coen
I
Brothers,
listened
right?
to that joint over and over
that was-
again.
You know what? I don't think that's his voice. I think it's somebody else.
Really?
That's
I'm pretty sure. Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's
Yeah,
somebody
let's
else.
look it up.
It's
Let's look it up.
That's the
Rich
Co-
says no.
Coen Brothers, right?
Let's look it up. Let's look it up. Because that would be mad
Coen
curious.
Brothers, right?
Let's see.
sure.
Oh,
Well, I
Brother.
got hung up on Romeo and Juliet being brother and sister. I got hung up on that for a second. Whose voice are we talking about now?
George
Clooney's
Clooney.
voice and Brother Wherefore Art Thou.
In the singing part?
Yeah,
Yeah.
okay. It says his
Yeah.
voice was dubbed by a guy named Dan Tyminski. See, they
Okay.
fooled me. I always
He was
thought that
filming
was
that
George,
with
bro.
football.
That was so. Oh, Rich, why you
I
spoil it?
love, I
Rich
I
just
love
told me
John
there
Goodman.
ain't no Santa.
I'm a man.
I just
John
ruined
Goodman
Christmas.
and
Sorry,
Robert
buddy.
Gordon
Sorrow.
Hartnell was good.
What'd you say, Kenny?
John Goodman in that movie.
Oh yes,
great.
John Goodman in that movie was fantastic, super
Yeah,
fantastic,
John Goodman in that movie was great.
dude. Kevin just
Do you guys know the music video that John Goodman was in early in his career?
no.
Talking Heads, Wildlife.
Oh, okay.
Pop culture
knows.
kid here, man. Come on, let's go.
He knows. a few
Let's
things.
go. See, I'm telling you, like, this is good stuff. This is gonna be good stuff. Y'all just gotta find a way to, when you're doing your recording, and just make a note of it when you get. And it's gonna be hard because you're gonna be in the heat of fighting. But when you get to a segment that brings up some cool stuff, just make a mark with Ecamm. You know, hit the Shift M, so you know what that is. And when that part ends, hit the Shift M, and then you could come back, Kathy, and just do like the what was that? Like the prelude. All right, let me set this up. So we're doing a recent live stream with my brother Kenny, and we got to talking about the whole Die Hard Christmas movie thing. I know you guys heard this 1,000 times, but I just want you to hear what my idiot little brother thinks about this. Here's the clip, and you just go ahead and play it, and then it's just, you know, that's the whole recorded video that you can connect to, and be like, we're gonna settle this once and for all. And you got a good thumbnail with you guys like arguing with each other, and then that's it. There's a cool way to, like, you purposely record a video in the middle of the show, but you have it there. And I realize this because if you watch Sunday Morning Football, they will play segments of the pre-game like weeks after the game already been played. But it's never the part about the predictions. They're playing the part where they went, you know, to somebody's hometown, or they went back to University of Alabama to see when they went to
American
school.
Idol.
Yeah, you know, just like American Idol, 100%. Right. So you can still have those clips that sort of live on, and you just make sure that when y'all get ready to get into one, you might have to pump the brakes and tell the other one, okay, hold up. We're going to set this and go ahead and mark this and then get into the conversation. You know what I mean? Or if you guys are in the same room, you could use a flag or a signal or something on screen if you're on Zoom to remind yourself that this is going to be a recorded segment, so you can think about it that way when you're doing your points and keep it show ready, if you will. That'd be a cool way to pull that out. AT said, is we having class today?
Just don't do claps on your markers.
Why?
I do voiceovers for Bible lessons for a Christian newspaper, and so when I'm recording them in Alphonic and I have a mess up, I'll always clap 3 times, and I can see it in the waveform when I'm doing the edit. Well, I'm doing videos and I'm starting to do claps, and then I realize when I strip out the audio track and run it through Alphonic takes out all the claps. And so when I bring it back in, I never know where my markers were. So don't do claps on videos. You may just want to do hands, you know.
You could set your Alphonic noise reduction a little lower. But that's funny because you're right. I have definitely done like a noise marker, and Alphonic has stripped it out so you can't see it. That is very true. I was talking to Matt about that too, with Alphonic, because he was like, what is the secret to like your sound just always sounding relatively the same on all your videos? I'm like, I've been running every video through Alphonic since Jesus walked in Nazareth. Like, it's no secret sauce. It is really, it just works, and you're going to get a consistent level, because it drives me crazy when I see like ESPN, I'm watching clips on YouTube, and one segment is here, the volume on the TV is set to 24. Then the next clip comes on, and it starts yelling, and then Karen is like, turn the damn TV down. And I'm like, I didn't do that. That was YouTube. So, you know, you can watch the same clips from the same exact company, but their intern or their producer didn't freaking, you know, level their stuff before it goes through. So, yeah. Actually, Kevin,
So when do
Kevin's
you
saying
run
doing it the way
Alphonic?
that, huh?
When do you run Auphonic
at the end.
in Final Cut? At the
At
very
the
end?
Yes.
Before you
So I'm
drop
doing
your
what
music
Kevin just said
tracks
it.
in?
I edit everything first, and then I run the final file through Auphonic. The only time I run Auphonic first is if the audio is so bad that I can't stand listening to it while I'm edit, which happens. Like I recorded something on my iPhone, and I realized that I didn't have this guy pushed all the way in, the DJI, so it only had the iPhone mic. And I was like, yo, it was loud, it was outside, and it was windy. So I ran off on it first because me listening to the wind while I chopped that video was going to make my head hurt. So I was just like,
well, one thing I learned, and the guy that wrote Auphonic helped me on it, I would export the audio track as an MP3 and bring it back in as an MP3, and the timing was off. And when I asked him about it, he said, you've got to be in a WAV format when you export it and bring it back in as a WAV because it'll line up right on the money, which was a great tip.
Couple things to remember. In Final Cut, if you don't touch anything, you're editing 24-bit audio. So you know when you hear these devices like the DJI, the Rode, whatever, talk about 32-bit float, this is why I've been screaming at people for the longest time. Unless you got time code and unless you know what you're doing, 32-bit float on a long recording and video will mess up your timing because 32-bit and 24-bit ain't the same bit. So you want to bring it in as a WAV file 24-bit and export it back out as a WAV file 24-bit. If you switch it to 16 by accident, you'll end up with some drift. It's not just you lower the quality, you will also have some drift because the calculation is different, right? It seems like a minor thing, but the longer the recording, the more it will sort of move. And then the MP3 is actually compressed, and a lot of times MP3s can go all the way down to 8-bit. So if you're editing on a 24-bit timeline and you have an 8-bit audio file that you added, it can kind of move. You know, the frames can be off by almost a second by the time you get to 10 minutes in. So yeah, Tommy's correct. I always edit it in Final Cut first. I take the final file and then I send it. Rarely, if ever, do I run it prior. The only other time I'll run it prior to is if some of these videos I've done in the last month or so, I'm like, this is one take Jake. I will absolutely not edit this. In that particular case, for speed, I will go ahead and run it through Auphonic first because I know I'm not changing anything. And then I just drop it back in. And it's easier on the Final Cut timeline because you can take the whole thing and pull it down. But speaking of which, let me show you this real quick. FCP. Then this will make it stick. So Kathy always bitching at me about learning FCP, so pay attention, woman. Kenny, your sister's a pain in the ass. I'm glad she muted. All right, so here we are in Final Cut Pro, and I'll show you. Hurry up, load them up. Okay, so on my timeline over here, I actually have the dialogue. And then I have the Auphonic track because after I bring it back in, let me mute this real quick. I created a custom role called Auphonic. And so if you have the dialogue track cut up like I do here, if I go to pull this down, it only pulls down that one. All the rest of them are still up, which is not a problem until you get to a really, really small clip like right here, where this one's not that small, but like if you had a piece that was sort of like this, and this one would remain up. So in the middle of your playback, it would jump up in volume because you'd have double lines. So because I did custom roles, put this back, all you have to do is in the corner, there's this little box here that's called index. You press it, and then you come down and just take the whole dialogue track, and let me roll it up so you can see. Here, let me come here. I know what I do. Back out. Sorry, my Zoom game is a little off today. All right. So all I got to do now to turn off the dialogue track is just take the whole lane and shut it off. And then I can shut off the whole lane for Auphonic or shut it back on. And then if I unmute this track, so that way I can mute everything just by muting a lane. So when you go to click on this, and you see where it says assign audio roles. At the bottom of the list, it says edit roles. And that dialog box went where? Sorry. There it goes. So you can add an audio role, say for Kathy and Kenny. I'm sorry, I can't type. You know what it is. And then I can add another audio role. Kenny got purple. You know what's up, right? So when you put your mics in from Ecamm, you could drop yours. Actually, I'll just do it so it makes more sense. So let's say apply this, and then I'm gonna back out, and then I'm gonna just grab an audio file. I'm just pick any audio file. I'm not gonna actually play it. It doesn't really matter. Let's just say this dialogue that I'm about to drop in was Kenny. So if I put it on the timeline, all you do is click on that, go to custom audio role, and then I can name this Kenny, right? And so in the timeline, I could always tell where Kenny's audio was. Now, say for visual editing, having Kenny's audio track at the bottom would get on my nerves. You just come back over to index and push it up. You see what I'm saying? Same thing with your video. You got your video roles. You already knew this because you already have your video roles here where you have, this is your main picture, this is a title. If you had one that's a still, you can make a custom video role that is for stills. Or like you take this video role and then let's go to edit roles. And then so you could name this one B-roll, right? So in this particular case, let me click back here. Hey, go away, go away. Go away. So if I click on this and go to assign video roles, I can do that as B-roll, right? And then come back over to this one. I can right click on this one, assign that video role as a movie clip. So that way when I'm looking at my overarching picture, shrink this down. When I'm trying to get a look at my overarching picture, I can kind of see what's what. I think roles are underutilized in Final Cut because people don't know what they are for, but it can make your life easy. Because if you ever wanted to send this video back out without the cutaways, like maybe you need to put it somewhere where the cutaways might be distracting, or you're going to put it for a custom person, all you got to do is come in and just turn off the whole B-rolls, and then they never pop up. You know what I'm saying? And then I could turn off the titles, which would get rid of all the effects, and so it's all there. You know what I mean? So make yourself custom roles for your audio, for your video, according to however you edit, which will make your job easier. You could even do, oh my God, hold up. Let me turn this back on. I just had a thought process. Okay, so watch this. We're going to click on this piece right here, and we're going to go custom video role, and we're going to edit the role. First of all, this is nothing, so let me get rid of that. And I'm going to add a new video role, and I'm going to call it repeat. Right? Or I'll just, for you guys, because my brain works different from you, I'm going to call it shorts. All right? And then bingo. Yeah. We're good. Okay. So let's say I'm editing, and I get to this little chapter right here. And this little chapter from here to here, let's find out what that is. Hit R. I know that this is the beginning. And I know that this is the end. That's 1 minute and 28 seconds. I know without even listening to this, because of the way I broke the chapter up, that 1 minute and 28 seconds is a solid piece of conversation. Right? So I can right click on this particular thing. Actually, I got to blade it. So I'm going to blade it at this chapter marker. And then I'll blade it right here because that's probably where it ends. I can right click on this bad boy. Go away. And then go to audio roll and just do repurpose. So now this clip is set as a repurpose clip. And then that way, when I go to spit it out, I could just find the video clips that I know are perfect for repurposing and call that a day. You know what I mean? Because I've already identified that as a repurposable clip. So when you go back to look at your projects later, you start looking for stuff that you might want to use. You just open it up. You can kind of see where your repurposed clips are, and bingo, bango, pickle, mango. Call that a day.
So you're really just kind of manually doing what an AI would do with editing, taking out what it thinks is the important parts, right?
Right. Because if you're editing and you find something on your own, why trust the AI to do it? Because it's going to probably get it wrong, right? When you do it, you know that, oh my God, that was fire. I didn't realize I was that smart. All right, cool. So you just go ahead and mark that sucker and save it. And as a matter of fact, Tommy, while we in here, since you want to be like that, if you highlight this particular piece, go back in the live demo. If you highlight this particular piece and then you just hit Command E, I can already export the piece that I have highlighted. Now, this doesn't have any audio on it at that moment, so I'd have to, if I turn the dialogue track back on, it would work, but that's not the Auphonic version. So what I would probably end up doing is going to the beginning of this clip and blading this here and go to the end of that clip and blading this here and have that highlighted plus this highlighted. Right? So I got those two pieces highlighted, and then if I hit Command E, I will export that clip already ready to go. Right? So I'll go ahead and hit an export on that real fast. This is not what it's titled. This was about storytelling. I forgot to change the name of the project. But hey, why'd you do that? That only exported the audio file. Let me go to settings real quick. Go to, I'll just use computer, Apple device. Apple device is the fastest for this kind of thing. So I'll just go ahead and export that. I only want to export that region. What are you doing? You have to do it through Command E. There you go. And then you could even go in here and say what roles you wanted to export as well whenever you do that. So if you don't want it to do all the parts, all the pieces, you can have it do that as well. But so that's one of the things that you can,
Are those audio tracks expanded that you're looking at, or are they just enlarged in the view?
No. All right, here we're going to start all over.
Are the audio...
We're going to start all over again because you missed the key element of this. Let me grab all of this and delete it. All right, we're going to start from jump because you missed the most important element of this.
No,
all right.
I think I got what you're saying. My question, though, is are those audio tracks expanded?
No.
So no. Okay.
No,
so if you use the range tool, on the entire sequence, the audio and the video, would you not actually export all of that range at one time?
Yeah, but the difference is, and this is why it makes a difference, I had this in, right? But this audio file is the Auphonic audio file. So it ain't the one that's in the clip, right? This audio file technically should be muted. But rather than muting it, all I did was turn off the dialogue track. So that's why it looks like this. And it looks like it's expanded, but it's not. This is the actual after it's been processed. Right?
I got you.
If I just hit the range tool here, there's no audio on this clip because this is turned off. Right? But I can't range down. It only ranges that part. So what I did to cheat was blade. Sorry, let me undo that. You can blade all of this mess, right? And then come over here and blade all of this mess. And now those are selectable as a group. Now, what you could do right before you export this is hit Option G to close it off. And then so it's like that, right? Because if ever you need to fix it, you could always double click it and get back to the part. So to do what you're saying, I think it's better to split the whole thing and then combine it back as a single, because then you still have editing capability. If you just close it completely or detach the audio, I don't know, sometimes detaching audio to me, It works. It's great for doing J cuts, but it's an absolute easy way to mess up your timing. And on a really long timeline, like, yeah, I know how to pull it back, but if you don't have that experience, I wouldn't mess around with detaching audio that much, right? Until you get more comfortable farting around inside the cut, as we call it.
Got it. Thanks.
Yeah.
Thanks.
Yeah. That's cool. The Rose demo that changed my workflow. Hey, there you go, man. There you go. That's what we're here for. Anyway, if you guys got questions, drop them in the chat below. We just out here hanging it. You can add a short form roll and a mid form roll that's long. Yeah, exactly. So you can make it so you know how to find your stuff when you get back in. You know what I'm saying? Do you change the size if you're using it as a short? Yeah, I would take that piece. I would pull it into a new timeline and switch it to 16:9. But something that I've been thinking about recently, and it's actually might be beneficial for you guys, is when you put out a short, here, I'm going to draw this on the Ecamm screen instead because it'll make more sense. Let me see if I can find a tiny little, I'm going to just use this picture as an example, okay? This picture is actually video. It's not a picture in this particular case, all right? So we're going to put this here. And we're going to unembiggen it. We're going to say this part where you guys are is the middle. So I'm going to be like, this is the 16:9 piece. And then what I would do at the bottom maybe is pull in a still to ride dirty with that visual. Actually, this might make more sense if I did it with an actual video file. So let me change this for a second. This might make more sense. Kathy and Kenny, you'll be right back. After these messages, we'll be right back. I'm going to grab this piece here and just drop it in and just add it as an animated overlay. Okay, so we're going to make this about 16:9. I'm going to temporarily turn on my safe zone in Ecamm so I can make sure that we're getting something that looks about correct. So that way we kind of know. So I know that this is what would happen if I were to drop a 16:9 video inside of a still. And then let's say we're going to have Kathy and Kenny come on and they're going to be talking about this movie clip. I could take them right here, minus the border. Come on, son.
You may have to go to demo mode for us to see your safe zone, Doc.
Oh, okay. It's not kind of sort of not relevant, but I'll do it anyway in a second. So I'm going to take this real quick. I'm going to turn off the border for a second. And then, so this video would be playing, right? Kathy and Kenny would be there talking about it. Right? Because on this week's episode, we're talking about, what was that movie? Chariots of Fire. So then at the bottom, they would have the flyer for that particular show. And this all fits in the 16:9 type joint. Right? So I'll pull this, I'll go to demo mode for a second so you can see wherever. You can't really see the safe zone in demo mode, but you don't always have to crop a video just because, right? You also can do it as square. So if I was to bring this in just a little bit, it's not going to be exactly square, and bring this up like this, we could do square. And then again, you have you up there. This bottom piece would be sort of the advertisement for the show. Pop culture kids. This is right here on the bottom. Because remember, this is going to get covered by the interface in YouTube, TikTok, with that IG. This is going to be covered by like, subscribe, share, what movie sound you use. All of that shit's going to be down here. So you would run this a little high. You would put you guys up there. And then you have like even a dark space here at the bottom would be fine because you could stick the caption on that. You know what I'm saying? So you could bring this drop it down to about chim. Run this cross about chim. Right? And so now you leave that for the interface, and then y'all up here at the top. All right, y'all, this week we talking about Chariots of Fire. And then Kenny would be like, "Pew, new, 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 new." Boom. Right? All we need to do is see Kenny ass running down the beach, messing around, trip over the sand, fall in the water. I'm about to watch that show. I'm finna to watch that show. But you can, so in Final Cut, rather than just making yourself small, sometimes it's better to do this. And if you actually look at reels and shorts that have a lot of impact, they don't always take the 16:9 and conform it, because you might not be able to. Like, if Kathy and Kenny sit in the way they sit right now, if you try to conform that to 16:9, it ain't going to work, because they're shoulder to shoulder, right? So, and the AI thing does a really, all of the AIs, I don't care who did it. Sorry, Opus, I love you. They do a bad job of selecting the right person. Sometimes the person be like this. And so this week, we're going to, and then just all of a sudden does that in the middle. Yeah, that drives me crazy. So do it yourself. Just do something like this, make it fit. You can even cheat and go get yourself a TV. Let me see. Let me go to Google and then go TV cutout. You can even just do like a nice little TV cutout. Oh, this is even more funny for what Kathy and Kenny fixing to do, because they doing movies, right? So go get yourself an old TV cutout. And then make this movie smaller. And then make the shape bigger. Ooh, the shape needs to go to the bottom, dude. There you go. And so we're going to take the TV and the movie, and we're going to stick them together with a little folder here. Drop in the movie. Drop in the television. Lock them together. Unlock that. Lock this. There you go. All right, so you can have it sort of like this, where you're going to leave space again for the bottom.
I was thinking we could even put our logo in there inside the TV.
Yeah, 100%. 100%. So, I mean, you know what I'm saying? Like, don't just automatically think, I got to squeeze this into a 16:9. Get creative with it. This visually will probably stop the scroll quicker than you just creating the short the way we tend to create shorts. You know what I'm saying? Because you're trying to do a pattern breakup. You guys talk about it all the time. But if you're trying to do a pattern breakup, like legit break it up, do it yourself, right? So this is where editing your own short or purposely recording a short would do much better than just depending on Opus or whomever else to do it for you. Because it really won't take a lot of time. The video is already there. I mean, it already exists. So it's just a matter of, here, let me fix this. This is going to drive me crazy. Uh-oh. He done did something to you. What did I do? Put this back at Squircle and then make it the requisite size. This is my Virgo tendency starting to bother me. And then paste the settings. All right, bingo. Yeah, that's cool. That's cool. That was a good question, Kathy. And Paul, put her in timeout. She didn't put no Q. Wait, how are you answering questions as you and Kenny at the same time? What the hell? Let's see.
It's not me.
I'm that good.
It's not me.
Okay, she messed me up real quick. Yo. You know what, Paul? Shut up. Thank you, Paul. I appreciate you. Listen, Yolanda, I'm about to make a video about this. Um, yeah, I would answer you now, but I'm about to make a video about this. Before, when I first started, I did the Envato thing. And I thought it was cute because for the price, it seems cute. But I quickly realized Envato had the same problem. I think Rich will probably understand this more than most of you. When we used to get font bundles back in the day, right? There was always somebody throwing a font bundle on sale. Get 1,000 fonts for like $8. And some of us were dumb enough to buy them joints. And it's all good until you go to lay out some client work and all the kerning is off, all the M spacing is off, and you would have rivers. If you justified any text, you'd have gigantic rivers, aka weird gaps that didn't make sense. If you bought professional fonts from Adobe, Letterhead Press, what is it, IHC, I think. Yeah, whatever. Type Foundry, these kind of guys. Those fonts were professionally made. So they always had, for the most part, 98% a correct rate of proper kerning, proper M spacing, proper glyphs, proper ligatures, the whole 9 yards. So the idea of buying this bundle of 1,000 fonts for free, truth is, maybe like 20 of them fonts was good. The rest of them, you really couldn't use it in client work because you always had to manually adjust letters, which took more time. So Envato was dope because it had this wide range of library, but anybody could make Envato templates. So Paul could make Envato templates. He called his Palo Alto collection. And when you go to drop them in Final Cut, you spend a lot of time moving things into proper folders because they set the bundle up wrong. Or realizing that the motion settings that you use to adjust line heights and stuff was done wrong. So when you go to move the size of the font, it breaks the whole plugin. I just stopped doing it. Like I did like 2 years. I'm like, I'm over this. I'm gonna go get some real deal. So I eventually went to FX Factory because they're like a storefront, kind of like the App Store, which allows you to buy the best fonts. And I fell in love with a company called Premium VFX. They make some really, really good effects. The thing there is when you first get it, when they first open, it's on sale for $29 to $39. When it goes off of sale, it's anywhere between $59 and $99. It only is on sale for the first 30 days that they sell it. It never goes back on sale again until it's old and they're about to make a new one. But I collected, as you can see in my Final Cut thing, I've collected a metric F ton of Premium VFX. Because they're good. They're good. They're just be ready that you're going to be a la carting it. So a company that I've always loved, but their plugins averaged like 150 to 200 a piece, was Motion VFX. Their stuff is super good, but their plugins used to be kind of expensive. I shouldn't say that. I hate using that word. They used to be just, on average, $100 a piece, never cheaper than that. Like you would just always just be down there doing that thing. You know what I'm saying? So, Miles, what is up, brother? How are you doing? Long time no see. Hope all is well with you and Junior Miles. Sound like Flight Miles. Anyway, Motion VFX, though, they're really clean, good plugins. Well, they just dropped something, and I don't have no affiliation with them at this point in time, but it's called Design Studio. And it comes with all of what you need, right? So you got titles, you got overlays, you got effects, you got everything. Camera moves on here is pretty good. But literally, you get their whole library. So they switched it from individual plugins to almost a Netflix model. So that's what I use now. I just started with it. I am super happy with it. But you got those collections there. You got the individual add-ons. You guys been seeing some of these pop up in my joints recently. But you literally get the whole shooting match. All that and a bag of chips as just part of the deal, right? So this is what I've been messing with a lot recently. You got, please don't use intros, but you might need it for something. You got custom intro templates built in. You got placeholder templates. So like when you want to make a video piece where this comes up. So here, I'll show you how this works in just a split second. We're just showing you what's kind of in there. You got social media bumps if you need anything for such and such and such. So you got the whole 9 yards. Like it's all up in here, right? Compositing elements if you need, which is cool. It's all in there. So, are you talking to Miles? Yes, it's Sherwin-Williams Gray, 2849. 2849. I think that's right. Paul would double check to tell you. I think it's Sherwin SW 2849 Winchester Gray. Westchester Gray. Winchester is a gun. I always say it wrong. I think it's Westchester. I forget. But Rich is on point. Rich is in the right ballpark. Anyway, so watch this, Cholanda. First of all, let me just tell y'all what it costs before we get in there, because y'all get to that, y'all be like mad at me. Design Studio. I didn't do Cine Studio because it's not what I needed. And so I'm on this middle section right here. But it literally has everything. So let me go back into Final Cut real quick. Wrong screen. There we go. Open up the cut. So let's see. You hit this button. You go down to M extension. It basically loads in here. Okay, so I might want to do like a little placeholder type joint. So I can click on elements, and then I just want to use that one that I just saw. Where'd it go? Placeholders. Why he don't? I know I just saw it. Oh, there it is. All right, so let's say we want to take this piece right here. All I got to do when I need it, hit the download button, spin, done. Drop it onto the timeline, done. Move this out the way, bingo. Line it up, see what we're working with, bam. Okay, so now I'm going to take this piece right here. I'm going to move it where I want it to went, which is about right chung. And then I'm going to get another piece of video that's going to go in that hole. Let's say I'm gonna just use one that I had laying around. Doesn't matter where I put this. Don't replace. Just stay in there. Theoretically, this would already be in your bin. Here, just go there so you're out of my way. So all I'm going to do is click on this again. And go down to here. Click on the drop zone. Click on this clip for the drop zone. Apply the clip. And then, of course, I would change the titling or whatever as I need it. But give that 2 seconds to render since we're live. Boom. That's it. Like, that's what I like about it, because I don't know what I need until I'm there. And it doesn't matter if I don't have it. I just go get it. Just go over here, click that little button, hit the M extension. If you think you're going to do this and you like this kind of setup, go to Raphael's channel, pick on any one of the videos where he talks about motion VFX and click the link from there. Because then you'd help our brother who is, part of the LGL family. There you go.
Hey, Dom.
Yes, sir.
When you drop that video in that drop zone, does it pick up the audio as well?
No. But you could just lay that under as a. Let me make this make sense. I'm about to make it make sense. Hold on. Because Alicia gets mad at me if I don't explain it. So this video doesn't have any audio. But let me see if I can find it. I'll just go get a piece that has audio. Let's say we want to use this piece. So let me blade this. And then recall this from video roll to B-roll so that the audio works. It's going to be weird because it'll be me talking twice. But if I'm clicking this title and then go down to the drop zone, and then I want to add a new piece to the drop zone, which would be this, and apply that clip, what I probably would do is put this up here, take these two, and then go like that to make a piece out of it. And then maybe it'll both play both audios. Matter of fact, let me mute the bottom audio for a second so we can hear. No, it doesn't carry audio. Wait, let me turn this on for a second. And then mute this. It does carry audio. So yeah, it does carry audio. But in that particular, because like if I move this out the way so that it fits in the hole, you'll see that audio plays. But the audio, the video that's in the back of me is technically nothing there.
We're not hearing the audio, though. You can hear it, though, right?
I can hear it, yeah. Yeah. That's trippy. So, yeah, it does carry audio. Good question. I normally wouldn't ever do that, so I didn't think about that. I don't know why I quit Final Cut. I didn't mean to do that. Let's put Kathy guys over here. There you go. Boom. I have if you're going to go to Rafi's course, check it out. It's really worth it.
Is that the big dude that does the demos for them?
No. Raphael, he always comes and hangs out in our chat. Raphael Ludwig. He's just one of my editing buddies. Here.
Because I think that company that does the demos for Motions FX are actually in Tuscaloosa, Alabama, believe it or not.
Oh, I know who you're talking about. I met him at Final Cut Conference. His name is, I want to say Greg or Glenn. Super cool cat. I know that guy. He's super cool. What was I looking for? I was looking for this. This is Raphael. He always comes and talks to us, hangs out in our channel. But he's just one of my editing buddies. So he has some videos on here where he's talking about motion VFX. And if you just go to his channel, if you're interested, and click that, or Matt, also motion VFX, or Dylan, any of the Final Cut boys, just go in if you want to do that. But yeah, I think that's the easiest way to do it, Yolanda. It's just a lot of less hassle. You know what I mean? See, it was Westchester. Okay, I got it correct. Finally, I've always said it wrong 100 million times. Wait, what? Let me get rid of this one. Bingo. This the vertical safe zone thing, it bothers me. I have to turn it off. I don't know, I can't look at it. Everybody wanted it. I can't look at it. It makes my face hurt. What are you guys talking about, Kathy and Kenny? Look, they working in their book. They getting their homework did. It's kind of funny. You're muted.
Hey, we're doing our 2025 homework, working on our upcoming topics, looking at some of the strategies we're going to use this year, finding other channels we can collab with, and so we're kind of doing the work since we're here together.
You got the big one down, which is find channels to collab with.
Yeah.
I think that is one of the most underutilized sections of this content creation game for folks, is realizing that you got people in your camp. I mean, you could just, starting for guests, just bring people on from the community and be like, what's your relationship with pop culture? Like, what is your go-to, what's your go-to hype track? Right? Now, you know I got like 80 of them. But in that case, we're going to go investigate Paul's hype playlist. Okay? So when somebody getting on your nerves and you need that comeback music, what song do you listen to, Paul? What's your comeback music song?
I have a few.
Yeah, just pull one. Pick one. I got. Do you think you got a few? Look at Imagine Women's in my iPod over there.
I'm
Yeah, go
having
to
a senior
Spotify
moment.
and find Doc's playlist.
Oh, dude, I got crazy playlists. Okay, I'll make it easier for you. What's the boom boom?
Mine
track?
is
What's the
60s
what?
Gold on Sirius Radio is mine.
Oh, instead of a playlist, you just listen to a whole vibe.
Oh, God.
Hey, that's cool.
Kenny, anything by Prince.
Yo,
Flash
Prince is good.
Phelps.
Yeah. I could just sit down and listen. You know what I listened to yesterday? Because sometimes I want to hear a song not just for the lyrics, but I just want to hear that dope musicality. Because dope musicality is a little bit rare nowadays. I
Yes.
listened to White Rabbit by Jeff Ship.
Wow.
And when you hear that freaking guitar and that bass line thwomp, it just got a little something to it. I wouldn't get us in trouble by playing it, but that's one of the ones that I think I saw in like Apocalypse Now or some kind of like movie, like a war movie. And then, they drop on the White Rabbit and it just got a dum 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 dum.
Yep. Mine would end up being something like Imagine Dragons or Pentatonic or something like that.
Yeah,
depending on my
Imagine
mood.
Dragons. Oh, they got a bunch of heaters. Like, they got some good ones. One of my favorites, which is crazy, and it's because I loved the show Vikings from A&E. And prior to that show coming out, I already liked AWOL Nation's Sail. That song has dope musicality for a quote-unquote modern song. Then when Vikings came out, Vikings used it as their theme song. So for me, one of my hype tracks is Sail. But also, crazy enough, one of my hype tracks is the theme to Game of Thrones. Like every time the show used to come on, I used to have a dance going on in the living room, and Karen used to crack up laughing because I'll be running around in the freaking living room dancing when Game of Thrones came on. It had that thump to it. It was something about that track, like that good John Williams style build up. So you should definitely bless up your like hype track. Like before I got to do something, anybody that rode with me in the car at camp, when I leave the hotel, first thing in the morning is Rick Ross. Every day I'm hustling. Listen, the first two lines of that song put you in the mood for the whole day. Who the you think you?
I got
boss.
I got different songs for different occasions.
Yeah.
Like,
I like that.
When I'm ready to go, if I'm going out that night and I'm getting dressed, I will I'll tell my Alexa or my Ziggy to throw on Joe Williams and Count Basie, smack dab in the middle.
You out there by yourself.
No.
Count Basie, smack dab in the
Okay.
Listen to it. I'm telling you, it's like it's the perfect song when you're getting ready to go and boom, boom, boom. I got when I'm in the car, March by Prince. Like not the early Prince that everybody knows, the Purple Rain and all that, but I listen to the later Prince because that's really funky. And that's something you can really like. There's a song called Now that he has, and a song called March he has, and Musicology, all funky, all something that gets you hype.
I like that. All right, so Tommy, do you ever listen to music before you get ready to go out and do a show?
No, usually I'm kind of in a self-talk mode. Just
What's your Tommy hype speech sound like?
My what?
Your Tommy hype speech. Like right before you go out. All right, Tommy, you got this. You're the dopest musician in the damn planet. like what does it sound like? This is important. This is
Well,
important. So
Probably more times than not, I'm saying to myself, these people have never, the majority of these people have never seen magic performed live. They've only seen it on television. I'm fixing to just fool the crap out of them. Get ready, guys. You're going to love this. And that's kind of the way it works.
Bro, I love it. I love this. The reason why I love this is actually for my video today. I was going to talk about this because listen, tell me if you've ever heard this. I'm a bad man. I am the greatest. Why did he end up being the greatest?
Because he thought he was the greatest.
100%.
Right?
Write you out.
Thank you. But no, even that, not even to anybody listening to him. He was talking to him. We just heard it and we loved it. But he was talking to him.
Fly like a butterfly. Sting like a bee.
Thank you. Thank you. Tommy, bro, that is the unlock key. And this is why, I mean, you know me, fam. I'm always telling the crew, like, self-talk is dangerous. But it's also powerful if you know how to use it. So you got this, I got this, I'm going to use hype speech. That's why the music is good, because sometimes what happens is you sing a lyric and you're listening to that lyric and that's hyping you up because you're not writing your own lyrics. But that is no different than what you do and be like, these people ain't never seen no magic like that. They have no idea what they finna get. They finna get a 44-ounce Tommy Ellison can of whoop ass, and I can't wait to just marvel them. And having seen this face to face, Karen was mind blown. Tommy was playing with rubber bands at the dinner table, and and Karen was like, she looked at me like it's my fault. I was like, I didn't do it. That was Tommy. Like, so you're correct. Most people have, especially close magic, which I think to me is some of the most incredible work, because close magic to me, and tell me if I'm wrong, close magic to me relies on two things. The skill of the hand in order to fool the eye, little tromloy, but it's also the story and what you're telling them. You're setting markers in their brain, you're communicating and taking them on a visual path that takes them away from what you're about to do long enough that they never see it when it happens. The story is part of the illusion. Because you guys always make all tricks come with an elaborate story. Even silent tricks come with an elaborate story.
Well, you're telling a story, whether it be visually or audios or both, but you're also creating a level above the actual method that somewhat masks the method. But in reality, magic, if it's done right, is designed to entertain, not to just, make somebody feel like an idiot. So the story is the entertaining part of it. And to your moment a moment ago, it seems like when we go do a live video, the greatest story that we can tell ourselves is that, people have heard a million stories, but they've never heard me tell this story that I'm about to tell them. And if you get in that mindset, you're setting yourself up for success.
Hey, that is the truth. That is the truth. That is the truth. I'm joining today as I'm too tight to buy YouTube Pro. I don't get ads. You're killing me, Paul. But Tommy, you're 100% right. The pump up speech that you give yourself is super, super important. And it's really strange that so many people don't realize this. But one of the fastest ways to get, before you even get to a goal or some life-changing thing that you think is going to happen, one of the first things that you could do is tell yourself these things. Now, these things are brought up over history as affirmations. Sometimes they're brought up as, prayer. Sometimes they're brought up as meditation. It's all the same. Like, you're telling yourself that you got this. And even just getting better when you're sick, sometimes just telling yourself, I feel better, is better than like, oh, I still feel like crap today. I still feel like you're making it worse. Like, you're legit making it worse. Dude, I like REM. Rich said,
the other piece of the other piece of that too is that if you've done a trick 1,000 times and you have a new audience, they've never seen it. So in order to keep it fresh and energetic for them, you have to get into that self-talk mode.
True story. True story. Paul, you came up with your power song yet?
I listen to Thunder a lot when I.
Oh yeah,
like,
you like that one?
like,
Dude, I
yep.
like that song. That song is that song. It's one of those ones that you hear and you could be like in the grocery store. And you know how now some of them are the instrumental joints in the grocery store? I'd be in the grocery store hopping in the aisle. Thunder, thunder, lightning in the thunder. I be going off when I hear that one. That's one of those ones that's hard not to sing. Like, I don't even know who's the original singer of Phenomena. It's not Sesame Street, but I don't even know who the original musician is. But when you hear that, you cannot help but go, like, stop. It just, that one dives into your brain right away. Phenomena. Aubrey, what is up? That one is just really good. Yeah. Yeah, I think today would be a good day, or just while you cleaning your office, or like Kathy and Kenny are doing, setting up their lists for what they're doing this week. Y'all need to bring out the little HomePod or the series or whatever, and like put that joint on and like hear it. I love me some certain Stevie Wonder songs. Just get the blood flowing. Signed, Sealed, Delivered. That is a cut. Here I am, baby. Signed, Sealed, Delivered. I'm yours. That one just get the neck throwing. So I think it's funny because I heard something. Actually, he's not here today. Normally he's here. But I saw a video, a short. There's a brother that comes to the streams all the time, Lost in Translation. And he had a short, and he said something in this short that was mind-blowing to me. The one problem with these is now you listen to music by yourself. But when we was kids,
Boombox, baby.
you had the boombox, or you was in the living room on Sunday after church with the TV, the One Piece, Curtis, oh my God, not Curtis Mayfield. What's the One Piece TV called? Curtis Mayfield is chef. Curtis Mathis. You had the big 19-inch RCA. It had a record, an 8-track, and a TV. It was one piece. And it was the company was called Curtis. Why are you laughing, Kenny?
The Entertainment Center.
I'm not that old.
Yeah,
See,
you are.
Rich knew what I was talking about. Curtis Mathis. That's the one. And he lied. Look at him. Talking about he not that old. Walking around here looking like what's the black dude from Lord of the Rings? Gandalf. There you go. Looking like Black Gandalf, talking about he not that old.
Black bald ass Gandalf.
I didn't know we was doing the dozens on this show, man.
Oh, that's funny. Now you are old because you call it the dozens. That's how I know
I
you're
know.
old.
I did. I gave myself away. I gave myself
He
away.
gave it up.
I gave it up.
But
You ever
so
wonder
you know,
what happened to those little plastic spindle things that you put
the
in
yellow
the
joint for the
45s?
45? Yes.
Spider.
Yeah,
I did.
yeah.
Is it a
The
spider?
little. Yeah. What happened to
actually got a
all of
record
those? You know, there
player for
had to have been millions of them. They're in
Dude,
a
there was
landfill
tons.
somewhere.
I
With-
bet you
maybe
could
that's
go into a
where-
pawn shop and find them.
I think they're probably in a landfill
We
with
got-
all
we
the
got-
black jelly beans that nobody eats.
There
Right?
are no vinyl is on the comeback.
True.
So I have one because I have vinyl because I like to buy old vinyl jazz records. So I gave Kathy a record player for Christmas, and I think she's looking for a spider right now because she has one that goes for the 45s.
I actually preferred the Bakelite Pyramid.
No, one of my 45s has a spider
Do you remember
No.
everybody had is either black or red Bakelite pyramid for the 45 adapter.
Yep.
Yeah, I thought I had one in here. Woo! Some old
To
stuff.
me, that was my favorite joint, was just to have that old school like plastic dome. That was my favorite joint.
We are the champions.
Oh,
If
look.
you remember, some of the record players had an adapter that fit down on the spindle, and it
That's
would
this.
actually drop the 45s
Yeah.
after they're
Oh,
finished
the one with the
playing.
little click. It would go for boom,
Yeah.
and it would just drop
Yeah.
it. Yeah, so that's
Yeah,
the
y'all all-
disadvantage of using this is you couldn't use the drop down. But if you use the spider would help hold that joint in there.
Now,
Well, yeah,
here's how
so-
you know I used to be a DJ because I have 2 copies of the same 45. It's the Isley Brothers Shout, part 1 and part 2, on 2 different 45s, so I can put them on 2 different turntables.
Now that is a hype up song there.
Yes.
Shout. Yes.
You know what's funny is
In a minute, y'all gonna start talking about. In a minute, y'all gonna start talking about basement parties and black lights.
oh dude, I got them posters. The dogs playing cards, the gigantic weed leaf. I had the black light Bruce Lee. I had all them joints, bro. I love me a black light party back in the day.
Hendrix.
But
Hendrix.
what was
Black
funny
Light.
is what he was talking about was like before when we would listen to music like in the room or even just like after school, right? Say after school, all of us was sitting there. Well, y'all went to school at the same time, not me. I'm younger than y'all. Actually, I think Kathy and I are almost at the exact same
Barely.
age.
Barely.
But we would sit and we would play the box, and we could be talking whatever. The song was there, but then the cut would come on, and you would just stop, and we would get up and do something. Or like if I was kicking it with my sisters, when the song would come on, they would just go into the double dutch routine that matched that song. But you listen sort of collectively as a group, and it almost became that the songs were part of the thing that connected. So you still do that, but you're doing it with people who are not normally in the same room. Like you're making TikTok videos or whatever. Like there's no more of like the listening party that used to go down in the backyard with a Kool-Aid and a Tupperware cup, staying in the Kool-Aid. But we used to go out, pull out the lawn chairs, bring the radio out, and it's like, yo, I just got this new Red Alert mixtape, or I got this new Molly Mall mixtape. And then so you would get the cassette from the Jamaica store or the Puerto Rican store, and you would go in the back, you put it in, and then the other thing that was a trip, drop it in, go to press play, and it'd be like, boom, boom, yo, what's up with that? Oh man, I need a battery. Run into the house, jack dad's flashlight, pull all the batteries out the flashlight, cause the boombox took 8D batteries. Them joints were so heavy. So you steal the flashlight batteries from your dad, or take them out, lick them, flip them around, put them back in, try to get the thing to play. Yeah, it's funny. I just remember like something about sitting around with the crew, 7 or 8 of us with a boombox in the backyard or on the porch, listening to whatever was the newest joints that came out from Roxanne Shante or whomever. And we don't do
And
that.
back in the day, this pencil was everything if you had cassettes.
Yeah,
Because if they
to
got
wind that
loose,
joint up.
wind that bad boy up with a pencil.
You gotta wind it up. Or listen, this was more funny, and I got myself in trouble on a few occasions. So you gotta make a mixtape for one of your friends for a birthday, or that one person in class who you be passing notes with, and we couldn't find no tape. I don't have no blanks, but my grandma had these tapes, which was some Creflo Dollar of the day, had the scriptures on the tape. So my grandma would listen to the scriptures on the tape. And when I found the tape, I just put it in, and you put a piece of tape over the hole so that you could record. And I put it in, and then I recorded onto the scriptures. And then it's bombing in the Walkman, oh, got to flip it over, boom, bottom of the Walkman, give it to your friend. And they're like, oh, you got all of the new music, so can you make me a new tape? So I bring the tape in, and I threw it on the little desk with the keys. And Grandma's like, there's my scriptures. Baby, did you have my tape? And then I'm like, I don't know what she's talking about because I'm not paying attention. And Grandma put the tape in. A few years ago, a friend of mine asked me, what the is this? Ham, bring your ass in here. Did you tape over my scriptures? I'm like, huh? How did you do that? You're not even supposed to be able to record over these. I don't know what you're talking about, Grandma. Yo, I messed up a whole bunch.
There was an episode on Everybody Loves Raymond where he taped the Super Bowl over their wedding video cassette.
Oh my God.
Oh, and it was a near-death experience. It really was for him.
Yo, that's funny. So if you look at cassettes in the old school, if you look at the top, there's those two little holes. Those holes were for that you can't record. But if you tape that hole up, you could tape over anything. Because when you bought a new tape from BASF Pro 2 Chrome, the only way to fly, you would always snap the little joint off. So I was bougie. I was all about the BASF Pro 2 Chromes. Some people like the Maxells, or remember Tascam or somebody had the colorful joints from the 80s. It had like the rectangle, the circle, the square, and it was like red, yellow, blue, purple with little squigglies on it. I think that was Tascam.
Are we talking about the tape itself?
Yeah. Yeah. I'm trying to remember. They had the freaking colorful cassette. Hold on, let's see.
You really are younger than us then, because I don't remember those. When I became a man, I put away childish things.
Man, go away. Here it is. It's at the bottom of this picture. What brand is this? Oh, it's Memorex. Yeah, here. It's Memorex. Memorex was the guys who did it. It's this bottom one right here. These are all junk. See, I use BASF Pro 2 Chrome. That was my go-to tape because in my head, it sounded better. It probably did it, but that's what I told myself. And them joints was not cheap. Joints was not cheap at all. Oh, that's super funny. I know that we used to get the Denon tapes too. Denon tapes was considered really good. BASF Pro 2 Chrome. Let's see if I can find it. Yeah, there it is. There it is. When you pulled out one of these babies, you knew that baby girl was getting a good mixtape. That's when you really like what you was about to put on the cut. Cause these tapes wasn't cheap, but they was so good.
Do you remember taping off of a transistor radio onto a cassette? So you'd have your own mixtape?
So what got me to wanting to learn how to DJ was I would always get mad that the DJs would talk over the songs. So I was like, I want to make my own joints because I used to always do the pause, and you got to wait for the song. And then, like, of course, inevitably, moms or somebody got something to say while you waiting for the song and you missed the very beginning of it. So I used to get super mad. These joints came out. This was from the commercial where the music just blow old boy back. So we used to sit there and you be waiting. And then moms or somebody would call you and you turn your head. And then you would all of a sudden hear, I never knew how to have any problems. I never thought I had so much pain. Hey, hey, hey. You're like, I missed it. You got to wait like another hour and a half for it to come back on. And we'll be so mad, especially when you was making that cut for Old Girl in Homeroom. You wanted the songs to go in order because you wanted to build up to the you're cute, to I like you, to this interesting, to you want to go out. So you had an order for your songs. And you had to sit there on the radio and wait. and we would sit for hours on the radio and wait. And then if you happen to be talking, as we call it in New York, if you happen to be talking, you'd be on the phone, and she don't even know what you're doing, but y'all listening to the radio together, listening to the Quiet Storm. And then
Quiet Storm.
And you knew you had it.
BLS.
BLS in the State of Fresh, right? Melvin Lindsay in the Quiet Storm, right? So you be on the phone, you got the joint under your ear, you got your finger on the radio, and you just happen to hit that Shy Lights, boom. And then she'd be like, ooh, are you listening to radio right now? Yeah. Ooh, I like this song. And you think to yourself, ha, I already hit that button. You don't even know. And then you come to class the next day and you had the little J box, which you wrote the note in and you gave it up the cassette. Like, it was a whole vibe. You actually had to put in a lot of work to make something like that. And it was like getting a tape from your friends or from the person that you recording or whatever with all of the soundtrack of your life, as our friends used to call it, was actually a big deal. And so, yeah, now you can make somebody a playlist, but it's easy. You just go down your head and you go list. You make and I still think it's a thing. You should definitely make playlists for your friends and family and share them. And there's an app called Songbird, so you don't care what they have. And theoretically, you shouldn't allow any of your friends or family to live without YouTube Premium, because it's way easier to make these playlists on YouTube, because you can actually make it with the music videos. If you're a kid of the 80s and you like some good Babyface music videos with his weird ass suit and that grease on the lens, and he be singing. What you gonna say, Kenny? Oh, he muted, so we can't even hear Kenny right now. But I got him. Kathy pressed the mute button and left Kenny by himself on mute.
Speaking of music, Doc, I put a link on the chat box to a video of the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, I think, when several artists were on doing the While My Guitar Gently Weeps. It was a salute to George Harrison. Oh, and Prince did the final guitar.
Oh,
solo.
my God.
I saw that.
The killer.
Bruh.
Killer.
So classic. That was so classic.
Yes. Listen,
and
everybody.
They're all looking at each other.
Actually.
And they're all looking at each other like, what the heck is going on?
And when does this end?
Like, they're all looking at each other like, what is he like? And you see George Harrison's son in the background. He just got this big grin on his face. He's like I'm watching this. I'm watching this. And this is like, you know, that was
a classic moment in rock and roll.
Power up and you never see it again.
Bro, that hopefully that fit on YouTube. But guys, if not, just search for Prince While My Guitar Weeps. That is one of the greatest things I've ever seen. Oh my God, I love that.
I've seen him in concert twice.
So did I.
And I seen him in the Musicology tour, and I seen him in the Purple Rain tour. And I will argue with anybody that Prince is the greatest musician ever.
Well,
I saw him once as Prince and once as the artist formerly known as.
Hands down, the greatest musician ever.
I agree.
But there's another video out there that was explaining that Guitar Magazine had put out the top 100 guitarists in the history, and Prince was not on it.
Yep.
And he came back kind of like, yeah, well, up yours, Guitar Magazine.
Yeah.
Listen to this.
They say that him doing that solo and killing it at the end of, because he didn't rehearse with them or nothing. And they said him coming in and doing that was kind of like a middle finger to Rolling Stone for leaving him out the list. And then the next year they put him in at number 5.
The story was that during the rehearsal, they were discussing which guys were going to take the solos, and he said, well, I'll take the last one if y'all don't want it. And he never rehearsed it. So it was completely a surprise to them when he did it live. Crazy. Gotta watch it if you've never seen it.
Take the stadium in Philly, and his whole band like tells them to leave or whatever, and he with just a guitar, with just an acoustic guitar, amped acoustic guitar, entertained by himself for like a half hour, 45 minutes. and then put the band back in and then did everything else. And I had two friends who were they were kind of Prince fans, but they weren't as big a Prince fan as me. And one leaned over to me and she goes, I knew he was good. I didn't think he was that good. And then the other one leaned over and she goes, I knew he was good, but I didn't know he was that good. And I'm sitting there looking at both of them like, yeah, he's that good.
That's super funny.
The context of the story is I was at a Prince concert with two women, but let's get by that. And
You're silly.
My
What?
Lord.
Man.
Yeah, I had a sister too.
no, you know what? You know what?
Nice. Nice, Tommy.
What would
I
you
always
say?
wanted two sisters though.
What would you say is like one of the best guitar intros? For, 80s, that was a thing, right? You start out with the crazy
The
guitar
best rock
intro.
song of all time is
Oh.
Sweet Child of Mine by Guns N' Roses.
You think so?
Is that not a classic intro?
It is a classic intro, but I don't know if I could go
but-
all the way to greatest.
Where do we go? Where do we? Oh, the changes in tempo. I'm sorry. That song slaps. Sweet Child of Mine.
That is a good
Again,
one.
don't have to agree with anything that you
Listen,
support politically.
I
but that
agree with
song-
Paul more about Fleetwood. Sweet Child of Mine is good. Limelight is good.
Chain. I wouldn't even say the Chain is their best though.
All right,
But
I gotta.
that's me.
I'm gonna go. Yeah, there's a lot of choices, and I am completely
Don't Stop My
jaded.
Journey.
I will say I'm completely jaded, but it's my classmates. One of the first people that I ever partook in devil lettuce with is Joan Jett. I love rock and roll. I love Joni. She's not, I say it's her fault. It's all on me, but she's one of the reasons that I started to enjoy the devil lettuce. So, another one that I really, really loved, also somewhat of a homeboy, but he's from Delaware, is George Thorogood. Delaware Destroyer is Bad to the Bone.
To the bone.
Oh,
That's
yeah.
good.
That's such a good one. Such a good one.
As far as rock songs, that's
Mm.
no.
Hey, you know what's one that blew most people away? Was you guys remember Living Color, not the TV show, the group?
Oh,
What's your favorite color, baby?
Yeah. Cult of Personality.
Cult of Personality.
Cult of
Glamour
Pers-
Boys. are great.
Glamour Boys.
Glamour Boys.
Oh, A Letter to a Landlord. Oh, they were the bomb. They were the
Bro.
bomb.
And then in my punk rock days is hands down Dead Kennedys. Let's Kill the Landlord.
They played at my college. I remember.
That's crazy. Wait, I have I have a confession to make. I never been to CBBG. Yeah.
CBGBs.
Yeah, I never been there.
And
I left home before it became a thing. Well, I guess it was always a thing. I wasn't old enough to go, but I left home before it became like mad popular, and I haven't been. I think I need to go just so I can say, because you can't call yourself an East Coaster without having to be there. Maybe the dopest concert I ever seen in my life was Bootsy Collins at the Carter Barron, and they actually had the mothership. They built up this like facade, and the thing opened, and all the smoke came out, and he walked out with them damn boots that was like this.
Have you ever seen Parliament Funkadelic
No.
concert? No.
Yeah, same thing. Bootsy was just the alter ego. But, speaking of alter egos, we're going to talk about that today in today's video as well. So, y'all stick around for today's video. It's going to be good. But
You
I
know
got to
what
eat before we
concert-
go to class. Huh?
You know what concert surprised me? I had two concerts that totally surprised me that I wasn't expecting to like. I used to intern for Shadow Traffic in Philly, and I got these free tickets to a concert back in the 80s, late 80s. And the group was, I think it was Peaches, Snap. I know. Snap, and Richard Marx.
Off the
And I thought, and it was in a club called Pulsations back in those days that, and I thought, well, okay, well, snap, I'm going to be jamming and then party. I said, but when Richard Marx comes on, that's my time to scope the room for babes and try to, make my moves. But I didn't, because that was a really good, Richard Marx and his band put on a really good show. I'm sitting here like, hey, this is really good. And the second concert that surprised me, Boz Scaggs.
Oh,
Wow.
yes.
I
He
saw
was
Boz
good.
Scaggs in concert. And the one thing, as somebody like me who's a front man who has a band, I liked what he did, because what he did was, you were there to see Boz Scaggs, but he sat back in a chair at one point and he did like this. And he gave everybody in his band a spotlight. And I love that he shared, like, you're there to see Boz Scaggs. You know who these backup people are, but he shared the stage with these guys, and it was a great concert.
I love that. I absolutely love that kind of thing.
As
Yeah,
a
that's
as a child of the '60s, probably my favorite concert was the Eagles, and they were warmed up by the Doobies.
oh my
That
God, I
Wow.
was a
love Doobie
great
Brothers.
concert.
I love
Oh,
Doobie
that's
Brothers.
nice.
Doobie Brothers. And the funny thing was, I wasn't really into music big time, because I grew up in the '60s, and a lot of texture in the '60s in music, but I didn't really know who the Doobies were, and I thought, man, these Eagles are really good. And then I found out, I said, that's not the Eagles, those are the Doobies. And then when the Eagles came out, it just blew me away.
Do you know
So,
what's? It's funny you bring that up, Tommy, because I'm gonna tell you what anchored me as a little kid into being. I know for a fact I am a music lover. Was two groups, Three Dog Night. Actually, three groups: Three Dog Night,
Hmm.
the Doobie Brothers, and the Brothers Johnson.
Oh, let's talk about the Brothers Johnson.
Strawberry Letter 23.
Dude, do you know what Strawberry Letter 23 is about?
You know what? I probably don't, because at the time I was like, I thought it had a mystical meaning or whatever, because they mentioned Strawberry Letter 22 in the song, but yeah, I have no idea. It's probably
Okay.
a drug reference. I was too
No,
young
it's
to get.
not. So, Strawberry Letter 23, Homeboy in the Brothers Johnson, Homeboy was in a sort of mailing relationship. Shuggy Otis was in a mailing relationship with guitarists from another band, but they were at that time both dudes, brothers in the 60s. Shuggy
Wow.
was bi. I think we wouldn't classically call him today as gay because he's married, kids, went through the whole 9 yards. But Shuggy was exploring his options. And so he was sending letters back and forth to another famous musician. And I'm trying to remember the name of the group, the other guy. But yeah, so he was in love with this dude and didn't really
Mhm.
didn't have a way to express that, back then, because that would have got him
Yeah,
killed. You know what I'm saying?
probably.
And
Oh
so
yeah.
it was literally about his secret love affair. Yeah,
Wow.
it's kind of crazy. I'm trying to remember who was the other dude, but also from another famous band. But yeah, there was
Right, somebody up in Earth, Wind, and Fire.
yeah. I'm
Wow.
trying to remember who the he was
Commodores or
basically
something like
Well,
that.
my
he was
all-time favorite is Tina Marie, but again, I've only seen her in concert like 4 or 5 times, but I always would take family members, either my brother, my mother, my best friend. Uh, and actually, when I took my mom to see Tina Marie, she probably had more fun than I did, because she was out of her seat. Everybody get up! She was dancing the square biz and everything else.
I
So
seen Tim Marie twice. The first time I seen Tim Marie was at the Budweiser Superfest in Philly at the Spectrum, and that's how old I am. And
we saw her in
it
Atlantic
was
City.
no, this was way before that.
Okay.
It was like in '84, because I know it was '84 because I know the girl I was dating I took, and Kool and the Gang was there too. but Tia Marie held a note that was so long. I got up, went to the bathroom, got something to drink, said hi to a couple of people, came back, and Tia Marie was still holding the same note. I'm just saying.
Yo, she was kind of the best.
She was
She
dope.
was- She was the best. I think it was George Johnson or Lewis Johnson. So Shuggie Otis was in love with one of the Johnson brothers, and they were trading sort of musical love letters back and forth. He was in love with the light skinned Afro version, so I think that's George, if I remember correctly. But yeah, so that literally is where that song came from. But definitely one of the favorite cuts. But to Tommy's point though, like the Doobie Brothers, and for Three Dog Night, this is really stupid. It started out with oh my God, Tommy.
Jeremiah was a bullfrog.
Yes, there you go. I was trying to get to that. That's what I was trying. Thank you, Tommy. I was trying to get to that. That was what it was. I was a little kid, and I'm driving in the truck with my dad. He's on one of these long haul missions, and that song came on, and then I was like, "Can we play it again?" He was like, "No, you gotta wait." I'm like, "What do you mean you gotta wait?" He goes, "On the radio, you gotta wait till it comes back around." And so like we were driving and driving and driving. I couldn't wait for that song to come back around. But Jeremiah was a bullfrog. And then that kind of made me fall in love. I heard My Ding-a-Ling, first 45 I ever bought with my own money, because it was Chuck Berry.
Chuck Berry, yeah.
My
My
ding-a-ling.
ding-a-ling.
One time I was walking on the garden wall when I slipped and fall and had a terrible fall. I fell so hard that I could hear birds sing, 'cause I ended up on my ding-a-ling with my ding-a-ling. And then, what is it? Bad Leroy Brown. Baddest man in the whole damn town.
That was Joe Cocker, though.
That was Joe
No,
Cocker. That was like, this
Harry
is the
Chapin.
kind of stuff that my dad used to listen to on the road trips. But I remember I asked my dad to go to the store to buy the Three Dog Nights because I wanted to hear that Jeremiah was a bullfrog. And then I discovered Joy to the World and Just an Old Fashioned Love Song. Like, I just fell in love with them.
Down in three-point harmony.
Yep. And Little
Jim
River
Croce
Band.
did the other one though. you're
Jim
talking
Croce,
about.
yeah, Jim Croce.
Okay, I
Yeah.
was thinking Harry
Oh yeah,
Chapin.
Jim Croce was Leroy Brown.
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, but that, and then I do remember they used to always listen to the Ohio Players and the Brothers Johnson, and of course Cherry
They ain't
came
listened
out.
to the Ohio Players. They just looked at those nasty album covers.
Yeah, I was a little kid. What do you want?
Yeah. I don't
That was
understand
exactly
the
what it was
problem.
about. The one where she's in the hat with the hose, and then it's
Yeah.
dripping, and then
And the
there's
honey,
other
honey
album,
all over her.
the Honey album. Yes, when I was a little kid,
Yeah.
bro, I played that album and stared at that
Oh,
album cover
man.
over and over and over. The
Oh,
other
no.
album that I listened to over and over as a little kid was Sgt. Pepper's Lonely Hearts Club Band.
Ah,
Over and
But if
over
you
and
wanna-
over and over. My sister then would be like, "Turn that off. We want to hear the Jackson 5." And I was like, "The Beatles is better than the Jackson 5." And them was fighting words in my house. Them was fighting
if
words.
you-
'Cause I
if-
love me some Jackson 5, but that Sgt. Pepper, and when they came out with that dumb movie with Peter Frampton and Billy, what's Billy? Not Billy Womack. What the hell is Billy's name?
I knew
The movie?
Billy Preston.
Billy Preston.
Billy
Billy
Earth, Wind,
Preston.
Fire.
When that joint came
Yeah.
out, oh my God. And Earth, Wind, and
Nothing
Fire.
from nothing leaves nothing.
Yep, nothing
Yeah.
from nothing, lead nothing.
You know-
Pedal it there. Yo.
You know, when we were kids,
Oh, Paul, come on. This is when I discovered weed, bro. This is when I first learned how to get high and listen to music, was listening to Wall. All in all, it's just another brick in the wall. Dude, that
Can't have your meat until you can't have your pudding until you eat your meat. What's that? Can't have your meat, can't have your pudding.
Okay, this brings me to a sad story. We used to tease one of my friends in school about the soccer coach touching him, and we used to sing that song in the locker room, and we thought we were funny because we didn't know that was a real possibility back then. But then after I left, I went to the military, and I had gone back home. I ran into a bunch of my old classmates and stuff, and I used to be like, yo, anybody heard from White Sean? He was White Sean. And they were like, nah. And so through all of the class reunions and class conversations, whatever, I used to always ask, anybody ever heard from him? So from the time we graduated until now, nobody ever knows what happened to him. But we found out later that, like, he took his own life. And it's a huge possibility that what we were joking about, I think I got older and started realizing what these things go on. And that there was a movie on Netflix called The Keepers. That school is not that much far away from our school, and that's the same Catholic diocese. So it's a huge probability that what we was joking about teachers don't touch the kids, a teacher leave them kids alone, it was really happening, and we thought we were just funny kids on the soccer team. And that when I hear that song, it just makes me think of that. That's like, bro, we were relentless. You know how kids be. We were relentless.
Vicious.
Just it's crazy. But when they came out with this technology called SACD, where they would print CDs in 24 karat gold, and I would dig it up somewhere in here. I have the Pink Floyd The Wall in 24 karat CD from the Sony SACD and the Eagles collection. Oh yeah, Jimmy Taylor was another person that made me know I was in love with music. I think Jimmy Taylor is one of the unsung heroes of the music game.
On a lighter note, I can remember sitting in the basement of my house right after Christmas, playing with my new slot car set and listening to that little tiny transistor radio with the 1-inch speaker to car songs like Beach Boys and Jan and Dean and all. And the DJ came on and said, "This is a new group. They're from England. I don't know much about them, but they've got some pretty cool music. And here's one of their cuts." And it was She Loves Me by the Beatles.
Wow.
And that same week, I think, or week or two, they released like She Loves Me and Love Me Do. And there was one other that came out, and they were like instant rockets to the top of the charts. It was crazy in the beginning of the British invasion. So,
bro. Yeah. And,
it was a Gilbert slot car
nature,
set, in case you were wondering.
For me, Kenny, this would trip you out. When I was in the end of 4th grade, my parents were going through their little thing. Dad got thrown out the house the first time, and my dad told me that I was in charge of his Akai reel-to-reel. Remember them? The big joints with the big tapes? And I put that sucker in, and my dad had gave me this album, and it was Queen. And I remember one of the first things I transferred from the album to the reel-to-reel was the what do you call that sucker? We Will Rock You. And then We Are the Champions. And the second thing I put on that tape was this weird song that I just thought was so weird at the time. It ended up being so funky. And it was like, and it was like, I'm in heaven. Dude, that is sick. We Are the Champions on the backside. See, she knows. Like, when I got Tom Tom Club, I was like, what is this and why is it
Talk
so
about
funky?
a heavily
I
sampled song.
played that joint over and over and
And
over.
you know what Tom Tom Club came from, right?
I don't know.
Talking Heads.
Oh, there you go. That makes sense.
They were members of the Talking Heads that formed the Tom Tom Club.
Shut up.
I didn't know. that.
Kathy, if I remember, the promo copies always had them on both sides, right? There wasn't an A and a B.
Yeah,
From-
promo
from
copies
the
used to
radio.
come with the same thing on both sides.
Yeah.
And I mean, some of these things are so old, like who knows when I got them back at a record store at 8th and Market in Philadelphia. So Spun Gold, that's some old stuff.
Dude, I remember we used to get promo copies with a hole drilled in it, so you couldn't resell it.
Yeah.
Oh, I have some.
Right.
I had some of the.
It's still, I
my
mean, it
12
plays,
inch.
but
A
yeah,
lot
the
of my
12 inch.
12 inches.
But in the center, there's a hole drilled in the part where the label is, so you knew you couldn't resell it. That's how they knew. And then, why must you black out the labels? So you can't bite your shit. Hey, Bilal, switch. Y'all are killing me. I got to eat before we go to class for our last class of the year. Thank you, guys. I'm gonna go out here and build me a playlist now, and I'm gonna build me a new playlist with attention. Kathy has my my musical Tourette's playlist. I think she dropped it in the chat earlier.
Yeah, I dropped it in the Zoom chat.
I definitely have the Doc's musical Tourette's playlist. Ask Kathy, she has it if you need it. But yeah, man, that was super good. Paul got me wanting to go listen to the Pink Floyd joint because that was so good.
I know
Dude.
what you about to do.
Listen, this was
I
You
know
gotta
you-
listen to a little. You
I'm
gotta
Wine
listen to a little
Gladys.
Bowie too, though. Little
Dude,
Bowie.
I
You gotta listen to
love
David Bowie.
Oh
You
my
know.
God.
Bowie,
And
Fame.
Boo, Fame is one of my favorite cuts. That the musicality of that cut is so good. Fame, what man you taking over? Fame. Just the
Wait,
pickups and the
who-
drops and the sweeps.
Who sang that? Who sang that?
David Bowie.
Yeah, you should let him.
Oh, you killing me. Damn it, Kenny. Damn, he got me.
for it.
He got me with the
Listen.
oldest joke in the book.
That's the only one.
Bro, Tommy, I was already listening to Bowie before, but he was mad underground. And it's crazy. A lot of people hated when he became pop with Let's Dance, but Let's Dance was freaking incredible. It
You
was
know who used to be a
incredible.
backup singer, right?
Who's that?
well, what about
Luther
Space Control
Vandross.
though?
Huh?
You remember Space Control?
Oh, yes. 100%.
Space Control, the Major Tom.
Oh, my God. Dude.
Luther Vandross was one of his backup singers and helped arrange some of his songs.
Oh, my God. Yo.
Yeah, when
Listen.
Put your helmet on.
Do you guys
when
ever
when
watch...
he recorded some stuff in Philly. Luther Vandross was backing him up when he recorded some stuff in Philly.
Do you ever watch not Rick Beto? Oh God, what's it? His guy's name is Warren. Let me see if I can find his channel. This guy named Warren, and he does like all of the old tracks and like how they were built and like the whole 9 yards. Oh, by the way, before we go, if you haven't seen this yet, recently come up. Just do a search on Phil Collins and do a search on Uploaded Recently. There's an interview from Nick Collins, which is his boy, where
I've
he
seen
interviewed.
that.
Oh my God, yo, family, so good. And it's like we got to get more interviews of these guys before they disappear.
There's a guy, Professor Rock, who does a lot of that.
Professor
too.
Rock is so good. So I found
Phil
Professor
Collins.
Rock because of this guy Warren, and
Okay.
his thing is about like breaking down like some of these old tracks and like how they were built and whatever. And he's a producer in England in one of the big studios, so he has the inside scoop from being there and like producing a bunch of this stuff. If I find his thing, like, oh my God, I gotta send it to you. But he has some incredible breakdowns.
Here's an interesting fact. You know, when Run DMC and Aerosmith did Walk This Way, in the studio, they needed to redo the bass line. But the bassist for Aerosmith wasn't there. You know who did the bass line?
Who's that?
Mike D from the Beastie Boys.
Oh, what? Come on.
Yep.
See, that's good. That's super good. I also listened to this young kid, younger kid. He just started out recently. He's Brandon Shaw, called Digging in the Crates. And you would love his stuff, bro. He is super, super good. Oh my God. Oh yeah, Let's Dance had Stevie Ray Vaughan. This is true.
All right.
Oh man, y'all gonna
Listen,
get me
you better
thinking
go
about-
eat.
Yeah, y'all can get me talking about Van Hagar versus Van Halen because I listened to a lot of Van Halen coming up. I was a Van Halen cover band in high school.
I actually like Van Hagar, and I know that's not a popular opinion.
No.
I think Van.
No.
Really?
No.
I mean, I like
No.
Van Halen, but
No.
We
Van
got
Hagar
just under an
is
hour,
good.
Paul. Look, I'm gonna go eat. Listen, family, I will see y'all on the flip. For everybody who hung out with us this whole time, don't forget happy New Year. Like, enjoy it. Like, don't get yourself in too much trouble. Tuesday, which is New Year's Eve, I will be live, just doing a little hangout. So come through. And we're gonna do our New Year's hype speech before we go in. Kicking New Year's. Tommy, thanks for hanging, bro. Good to see you.
What
Hope all is well.
time on New Year's Eve, Don? What time?
Same time, this time, my normal time.
Okay.
You know me, I can't stream at a different time because when you're old, you start messing with your routine. It messes up your bowel movements. Tell the wifey we said hi. Hey, Kitty, I ain't listening to Kitty no more. You're fired, Kitty.
You act like I'm a bad influence.
Mhm.
Sandra says hello, by the way.
Look, hey, we're gonna send you to the principal, but she's your sister.
Look, go listen to your Pink Floyd, eat your food, but listen to Pink Floyd first and take care of what you got to take care of so you can eat more.
There you go. I'm gonna get some pudding. You can't have your pudding if you don't eat your meat. Anyway, love you guys. Peace out. Aloha.
See it.